I hear this a lot, quite a bit actually, from my patients. I'll get someone in and I'll say, hey, you know what, you're a good candidate for hearing aids. And they will say, I've heard nobody likes their hearing aids. Or they'll say, I know a few people that have hearing aids, they all hate them. So I think myth number one is nobody likes their hearing aids.
That is definitely something that we hear often. And you know, part of that might be where you receive your hearing device. So you probe a little bit, and oftentimes you say, well, tell me about that. Do you know someone that wears a hearing device? And they say, yeah, my buddy that I golf with has a hearing device. And then you might say, do you have any idea like where they bought their hearing device, or where did they start with this? And oftentimes they say, well, I don't really know that. And then we start to say, well, you ought to ask them, because it might be the case that they bought a device off the TV, or they bought a device at a warehouse, or they bought a device from some outlet that's really not professional.
Yeah, you know what I tell people? I say it's easy to get hearing aids wrong. Because hearing aids, there's an art form. There's lots of science.
Technical,
but there's definitely an art form to getting this right.
Yeah.
And if you do one little thing wrong, your experience is going to be poor. So it is easy to get it wrong, but they track this stuff. They track satisfaction rates with hearing aids. And if you go back to like the 1970s, satisfaction rates with hearing aids were not very good. So as we're busting myths, I think if today were 1973, 1974, 50 years ago.
I think that's an honest statement. That I think very few people like,
and still no one. I mean, that's harsh, but it was like the satisfaction rates were what? They were like 50, 60%.
Yeah,
I can't remember the number, but it was low.
Just the fact that someone's saying nobody likes hearing aids, that's a myth buster.
Well, we're busting that.
Yeah, we can bust that. Speak in absolutes like that.
Even 50% of people liked them in 1974.
Nobody. That's a hyperbole for sure.
But these rates, I mean, you track them and you get to 2024, and the latest one I saw, it was like 89%.
Success rates.
As long as the hearing aid is fitted appropriately, it's selected and fitted appropriately, close to 90% of people are satisfied. They like their hearing aids. I mean, that myth is busted.
That's so busted. You're busted, myth.
90%. And you know what? At our clinic, we track stuff like that too. We track how many people that get their hearing aids like them, how many people don't like them, how many people return them.
Yeah.
And I think we're really close to that national average.
Yeah, we're way lower than the 10%. I think we're closer to 4%.
Yeah.
But what happens in a doctor's clinic, we have to openly say, is probably very different than the internet or the warehouse and some of these places, just because if the adage of educate your desires is a true one, then the more education you get when you're receiving something, when you're trying something, whether it's a new seat for your mountain bike or new tires or hearing devices, and you're getting the appropriate education of how this is going to work for you, how this is going to benefit you, and then you get the appropriate selection, you get the technical and artistic fit that fits your anatomy and how you look, how you feel, how you hear. And then that individual, like in our clinic, we're going into expectations of different listening environments that you find to be challenging. And we're going to go through it one by one. When you educate someone's desires, they're going to wear them more. They're going to be more successful. And so that opportunity to give feedback to someone and to be able to bounce ideas off them, like, should I be hearing the dishwater this way? Or should I be, when I flush the toilet, should it sound like this? Or when I put the dishes in the sink? I think our patients and other clinics like ours, I think that's why the success rate's higher, is because there's a place to say, what's normal with this process? What should my expectations be? So.
Yeah, I think that's the caveat. It's got to be done right.
Yeah. Okay, everybody, we so appreciate you watching the video today. If you've liked what you've seen, please like it, subscribe to our channel. It means the world to us, but it also means the world to other people who are trying to figure out what's going on with their hearing health. So thank you for watching.